What's up, y'all? I am back with part 8 of my story time Slick. We're going to jump right on into it. So, when we left off, Slick had just gotten his powers back. They were they came back 10 times fold. They were stronger than he's ever been. When he actually made contact with the shell and picked it up, it was like time stopped. The wind stopped blowing, the birds stopped chirping, everything just was still. And then that's when the shell connected with his presence, and then his eyes changed colors, and the weight of the impact of everything just coming back so fast dropped on him, and then that caused him to just drop to his knees. Once he dropped to his knees, y'all, that's when he felt the power, his power flowing through him. He could feel his gifts being restored. And at that moment, y'all, that's when he remembered all the past lives that he had with Sabrina. The first one was, of course, the slavery lifetime. Then he saw himself in the reconstructive era, okay? And then after that, he saw a lifetime with him in the 1920s, which was in Harlem. During this time, he was a gifted musician, and Sabrina was a gifted singer, and they met through music. Tragedy did strike, and he actually got into a fight with another musician where he was stabbed and killed in that lifetime. In the lifetime in the 1920s, he was a mobster. He was a gambler. He was very lucky at gambling. He had won thousands of dollars from just having a knowing, rolling dice, betting on horses, different things like that. And he crossed another mobster, and they shot at him, but Sabrina was trying to defend him, and she got in the crossfire, and she was killed in that lifetime. So in different lifetimes, either one of them died. In some lifetimes, he died first, and some she did. The most recent lifetime before the one that they're in now was in the 1970s. They were in Louisiana. That was a very interesting lifetime for them. But he basically was going through all the lifetimes, and it was like a movie as he's just watching it in his mind. Once he comes back to himself, he then starts to hear whispers from the ancestors. And these whispers get stronger, y'all, stronger and stronger, to the point where he can hear them speaking to him like plain as day. Now, like I said, this shell was buried for hundreds of years. Like, ever since the first lifetime, the shell was just laying dormant, waiting for him to come back and rediscover it. So after he goes through all the lifetimes, he goes back to the first lifetime, and he thinks about when he got the shell and how he could hear whispers in the shell, how the shell did help him to bring his gifts forth. Okay, his gifts was already within him, but the shell was enchanted. He felt like it, like I said, he felt like it was a gift from the ancestors. He remembers burying the shell, and then he remembers saying, if I don't make it back in this lifetime, let this shell wait for me in the next. So the shell was just buried, waiting for him to find it. But Slick knew that this shell was the key to him being able to use his powers to his fullest potential, and even get away from this pact or this agreement that he made with that crossroad spirit. So it's just a lot for Slick to take in, y'all. Once he takes everything in, he starts walking through the park to get back to his car. And as he's walking by people, y'all, he can actually hear what they're thinking. Okay? He's seen one of his homeboys as he's trying to get to his car. They start talking, and he shakes his hand, and he can see everything that was going on in his life. So that's when he discovered that his gifts came back like 2.0. He's like Slick 2.0 now, okay? All before, he had like premonition. He could, he was lucky at numbers and gambling and things like that. He felt that he was gifted. He felt spirits. He felt guided by his ancestors. But now it's like his gifts were strong as hell, to the point where he had to control himself and try to make sure he knew what he was doing. He had to learn himself all over again. So he was just trying to get home to Granddaddy Fox and Grandma Bell so that they could help him. If, they could come together and figure out what they needed to do next. Meanwhile, back at the house, Grandma Belle is waiting for Slick to come back because she has had a dream and she is ready to talk to Slick about this dream. She was waiting on Slick, but he usually back at a certain time and he wasn't back. So that's when she decided to call Sabrina just to check on her. So she called Sabrina. They were talking. Sabrina was saying that she was fine. Grandma Belle asked her when she was coming back down, and she said, honestly, Grandma Belle, I'm not sure. So right then and there, Slick walks in. When Slick walks in, Grandma Belle says, oh, I have Sabrina on the phone. When Grandma Belle told him that Sabrina was on the phone, boom, he hears a voice and he gets a vision of her instantly, y'all. It takes him aback. He is just bewildered. So instead of saying anything, he just takes a seat. Grandma Belle can see that he's in distress, so she tells Sabrina, she says, I'll call you back. Let me talk to my grandson and make sure he's okay. After talking to Slick, he tells her everything about the shell. He holds it out and shows it to her. It is glowing. When Grandma Belle looks at the shell, she touches it. And when she touches it, everything that Slick was about to tell her, she already knew. She says, I knew it. I knew your powers were within you. And now, baby, they're stronger than ever. And now that you can hear your ancestors loud and clear, and we know that there's an army of your ancestors behind you, you ain't got nothing to worry about when it comes to that crossroad spirit. You are too strong and powerful for this spirit to either haunt you or Sabrina anymore. Slick was like, I think so, Grandma. I feel better than I ever felt before. I'm just trying to understand and process everything and, make sure I know what I'm doing. Grandma Belle said, don't worry about it. We're going to take it one day at a time. Now, there's something else I need to talk to you about. Grandma Belle said, I dreamt the fishes last night. Slick looks at her and drops his head. She walks over to him, lifts his head back up, and they look in each other's eyes. She said, have you had a vision about this? He said, yes, ma'am, as soon as I walked in. So, Slick had a vision of Sabrina being pregnant, y'all. From that one night, that one encounter under the moonlight, now Sabrina is pregnant. And now he knows that there's no way that they can stay apart from each other. And now he knows that he has to have one final showdown with that crossroad spirit to let that crossroad spirit know that he ain't the one to be played with. Him and his family are protected. And if him and Sabrina do decide to be together, there's nothing anyone can do to stop it. And this is the last and final lifetime for them. And they're going to get it right this time. Okay? Now, we coming back for part 9, which is wrapping everything up, bringing everything together. Slick is going to confront this crossroad spirit once and for all. So let's come back and see what happens, y'all. Peace.